This is my Virginia creeper bonsai. Kind of an unusual choice for bonsai as it's more of a vine than it is a tree, but you do see it out there. A little here, a little there. And in this video, I'm going to give you a look at it through the seasons. So starting back in April of 24, this is what it looked like. And I've actually had it a lot longer. I've had it probably 10 years, but this is what it looked like starting in April of 24, at least. As you can see, it's just starting to bud out here, and it's kind of being done in a semi-cascade style. Here it is a few months later in July. By this point, it's leafed out quite a bit. You can see some berries starting to form there. From what I understand about these Virginia creepers, they're native to North America, more eastern and central than western, where I am here in Boise, Idaho, but apparently they made their way here. Here it is the following month, starting to turn colors just a little. This one's got an unusual root base. I don't know why I stuck with it. It's just kind of gnarly and weird, and I liked it. I might not stick with it long term, who knows. Those berries are, from what I understand, a good source of food for birds and that type of thing. Not edible for humans. These are considered invasive too, so be careful if you do use these as bonsai. Here it is in September, it's starting to really turn colors now. They turn amazing colors in fall. It always has. Here's another look at it. Back to the invasive part. What you really got to watch for is they grow so rapidly. Even on a bench, they'll eventually reach the ground. They'll just keep growing like a vine, and they spread out and they'll reach the ground, and then they ground layer. And once they ground layer, good luck getting rid of them. They start popping up all over your yard. So be very careful of that. It happened to me at a different house, and I learned my lesson. And after that, I just keep an eye on it. If it gets even close to ground level, I start trimming it up. Here it is a few weeks later. Look at all that color. So it's kind of unusual. The first flush of berries ripens and they start to fall off, as you can see the difference there. And then it kind of goes through another growth spurt right at the end of the growing season, which is weird to me, but it's normal for these. It seems to do it every year. And I'm taking a lot of clips close together in time here, just to show you the transition in colors. I like the bark on this too. It's just kind of old and gnarly. This started as a cutting, by the way. Somewhere around, I want to say it's about 2015, so about 10 years. So they do root from cuttings pretty easily. Or air layers if you wanted to. Here it is in April of this year. I guess I chipped the pot at some point. I'm probably going to repot it next spring into a deeper pot, because I think the health started to suffer a little bit this year toward the end, which you'll see. And I'm just giving it a quick little tune up here, just clipping off little dead ends. At this point, it's been in this pot for about 1 year, because I repotted it right before the very first clip there in April of 24. But they do grow really fast and rapidly, so it's possible that it's already filled up that pot. So yeah, I didn't do anything crazy here. I just kind of tidied it up. Got it ready for another growing season. The next time I repot it, I'll probably do something with these roots. I don't know what it is about it that I like, because it's really kind of just strange, but I like it. Here it is a few months later in July. You see all kinds of berries. And this year, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I think it started turning colors earlier in the season. Just a little. I mean, this is July, so it's right in the middle of growing season. And you can see a little bit of color starting to happen there on those outer leaves. Just a little. Couple other fun facts is these are actually related to grapes, grapevines. I think it's kind of a distant cousin, but see, here it is in late July, and you can see they're already turning red. I did a little research to see what might cause that, because usually what you'll see is leaves turn yellow if the health is suffering. Because I was thinking, maybe it's pot bound or root bound in the pot, but don't think it's that. So I don't know what caused it this year to turn colors so early. Then it was sort of downhill. Maybe not downhill is the right word, but it started to accelerate, let's say. There's the berries all starting to ripen. You can see them all over the ground. I know Virginia creepers are kind of a different choice for bonsai. But I got to say, it's a nice addition just to throw some color in there and some variety, even if it's just like an accent plant or an accent bonsai, which I don't consider this to be. But it's worth having in your collection if you can be sure to stay on top of it and not let it ground layer, just because it provides such unique color and style. Very early September. And just wait to see how red it gets. If you think that's red. You'll find these growing everywhere if you actually start looking for it. Anytime you drive by a vacant lot somewhere, with some fence up and you see vines growing on it, it's probably a Virginia creeper or something closely related. So another example of how just a kind of an ugly urban hedge type plant can actually be made kind of pretty. I'm not saying this is the prettiest one ever. It's just the one I got. But look how colorful. At this point, I think it's a little bit over its peak of color, and the color is now starting to fade. Its leaves are falling off. But there's that second flush of growth again, late in the season. I'm not sure why it does that. Another quick look at the bark and the trunk. To be honest, I can't remember if I ever trimmed this year. That was the other thing that made me wonder if the health might be suffering a little. Because I've seen these grow. There's been previous years where this has grown just crazy to the point where it's, wanting to touch the ground, like we were talking about. But this year it really didn't. It kind of flushed out in growth and then just sort of stopped. And it's possible I might have trimmed it sort of mindlessly one day, maybe just doing some maintenance. But I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did. Now those leaves are turning from red to almost a dark maroon or purplish. Maybe not quite purple, but dark maroon. And here it is just as of the other day. New growth again. Kind of weird behavior. So that's the seasonal cycle of these Virginia creepers. It didn't grow quite as vigorously this year as it has in past, but still had a good year, I think. I'll repot it in the spring, hopefully in a deeper pot if I can find a suitable deeper pot for it to suit its cascade style and kind of give it some room to grow a little bit. Let me know what you think, or if you have any experience with these. Would love to learn more about them. It's the only one I have for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.